Now let's start off with the obvious. When an operation drops, case prices tend to go down, significantly more for those active duty cases. These are the current 5 active duty cases. We're not really worried about those because they don't hold any profit potential. It's the rare cases that we're really interested in, considering a lot of them lose potentially 2 to 3 months worth of progress just because the operation comes out, which begs the question if it's even worth it to be investing into these right now if we think an operation is right around the corner, and that's what we're going to be trying to figure out.
SkinSwap is today's sponsor, and they're also sponsoring you with a free bonus for signing up with the first link in the description. They're the premier place for CSGO and Rust skins with a massive trading site and a top-of-the-line marketplace, offering you the most competitive rates out there and a massive 40% bonus when you're using that link in the description. Combine that with their top-of-the-line selling feature with many payout options and their trading feature legitimately taking you just about a minute, and there's no reason not to sign up with that first link in the description.
Now, my biggest concern when we're talking about these rare cases, and specifically the cheaper rare cases, is how different the dynamic is compared to last time. The last time we saw an operation was 2 years ago with Riptide, and look at the prices of a lot of these rare cases during that period. We're seeing cases at maybe 10 cents, which is extremely important because they dropped down maybe 4 or 5 cents during this period. It's a 50% drop, but more importantly, it's a 5-cent drop, and that's exactly what I want to focus in on because now we're looking at case prices. The cheapest rare cases, other than the clutch, are all about $1 a piece, which is extremely important because we're not going to see a 5-cent drop here, but we don't know if we're going to see a 50% drop. I think that's also extremely unlikely, but it really begs the question of how much are they going to drop? If they drop 30 cents, that's a 30% drop, but more importantly, that's 30 cents that took a while to get to this point. Is that going to be easily recoverable? We don't really know. Now, when it comes to the question of buying these cases beforehand, I don't really think you can go wrong depending on how long you're looking to invest into. If you're looking to buy these for the next couple of months, I think you're going to be in a really rough period. We've already seen a slight downtrend in the market. Looking at unboxings, I don't think any of these cases are going to be going down significantly over a longer span of time. They're basically the staple investment at this point. With that being said, they're definitely going to have periods where they go down. We can see that over the past couple of weeks, and I don't think you should be investing into these for the short term here. I think if you're looking at 6 months plus, a lot of these rare cases, and specifically the cheaper rare ones, are going to be great options for investing, and I don't think an operation, even though it would definitely harm these significantly, is going to just absolutely destroy your investment. However, the one area that has got a lot of potential to get destroyed is the Paris capsules. Now, if we want to look at the price of Paris, a lot of them have gone up rather significantly since their removal. We know the supply on these are massive, but they've still continued to see that growth nonetheless. But the problem is, that's because Paris is so liquid and it's currently operating with no competition. What we're seeing with Paris is really interesting because there's nothing in the way of Paris right now, and when an operation comes out, not only are we going to see people unboxing Paris significantly less, but we're also going to see people selling off Paris capsules, and that's where my biggest concern of this area. If we're talking longer span, once again, I don't think these are in a bad situation, but if we're talking about the next 6 months, it could be a really rocky road for Paris capsules just because people could start selling these off. We could start to see a slight decrease in some of the prices, and then everyone's going to panic. People are looking at the Paris capsules right now because there's nothing else to look at, which is a good thing when it comes to the demand these capsules have, but it's also a bad thing because it means people are looking at these capsules and potentially selling off on the very slightest of movements that don't really impact the longevity of this capsule. Now, when it comes to buying these capsules specifically, obviously if an operation rolls around, it's going to be a prime time, in my opinion, to go ahead and pick some of these up. We know the price is going to drop with these and these stickers inside of them, and therefore it could be a very opportune opportunity for you to go ahead and pick up some of these. Now, with that being said, I don't know necessarily if that's going to be the most important thing on your mind when an operation runs around, but I think it's a great opportunity if you don't have any Paris to go into. With that being said, I also would not be personally investing more into Paris if I already had some Paris investments, just because I think there's going to be better areas to diversify your funds when an operation rolls around rather than picking up the same investment you already have for that risk diversity. Now, filler skins are one that I'm kind of changing my opinion on. Honestly speaking, I really liked filler skins moving forward, but the fact is the way the new drop pool operates and the lack of demand we're seeing for filler skins right now really makes me slightly nervous. That's just because we can see a lot of people really value filler skins, but Valve is not intentionally going to take away filler skins, which was one of the upsides we saw potentially about investing into filler skins. Obviously, if they were removed and those 8 active collections were removed, they would have a very strong short period because people would be hyping them up significantly. That's pretty much off the table at this point just because we know Valve brought back these 8 collections, and I don't really see it likely changing considering we've got the new drop system. I would say filler skins are something if you want to go for a little bit more of a risky option, they're definitely there, but personally speaking, I'm not going to be picking up an excess of them right now just because I don't think they have the same potential I was looking at inside of CSGO. Now, when it comes to profit, profiting off of an operation, there's 4 big areas. The first one is the case. I mean, we can look at the Shattered Web, the Riptide, and the Broken Fang cases. There has been such a massive amount of profit in this area. It's impossible to deny that these are an amazing investment, but they could be even better. That's because you should actually be immediately selling these cases once you get them as part of the operation. Now, you shouldn't be buying these cases from the store with your stars because those are going to be costing you about $1 each. But that's actually very important because that means people who want to unbox the case, they're looking at a price point of $1 each. And when we head over to the Steam market, they're going to be buying them for potentially 90, 80, 70, or even 60 cents a piece. That's exactly when we're potentially going to want to invest into these cases. We're going to want to sell them for the 90-cent price point and get roughly 80 cents back. And then later down the line, maybe week 7, week 8, week 9, we're going to want to go ahead and invest into these cases for roughly that 50, 60 cent price point. You're going to be able to maximize your opportunity by doing this. And in the short term, it's going to present pretty much no risk because at the worst case scenario, you're going to be investing back into these cases for the same price you sold it off. Now, the second opportunity for profit is going to be coming from these stickers. We're almost guaranteed to see a sticker collection come along with this that is exclusive to the operation, which means that the supply on it is only going to go down once the operation is ended. That's already something we look for, but if you can find some stickers inside of these that are absolutely amazing, the demand on these things goes absolutely crazy. We can look at a lot of Riptide and a lot of Broken Fang stickers, and they have gone up potentially over 1000%. Just because the supply on these is only going to go down, the demand usually stays somewhat consistent because there's a certain group of people that really like these stickers, and therefore you're going to be in a very strong opportunity if you can just sniff out some of these stickers that you think people are going to like. Honestly speaking, if you buy into a sticker at not too expensive of a price point and it looks really good, odds are it'll actually increase more than not. It's a hidden gem opportunity, and I strongly suggest you take advantage of it. Now, we talk about agents as being something that has gone up rather significantly in the past year or so, but the truth is, it's a terrible investment when it comes from an operation. You're going to have so many better opportunities coming from an operation that I think agents are a complete waste of your money. Unless you're picking one up just to have it, investing into agents in this operation is probably going to be a terrible move in my personal opinion, just because we can see such stronger growth from pretty much every opportunity that is presented here. We also talk very highly about the operation collections, but in my personal opinion, I think these are going to be once again better to hold off a little bit. If we want to look at what happens to these operation collections, they actually get really hyped up during the operation and then potentially fall off a little bit. This is exactly what we saw with Broken Fang, and it's just because people do realize that these are great opportunities. They're not going to be the opportunity for everyone to invest into day one, but I think there's a lot more safer opportunities out there. If you want to pick up some of these, that's absolutely amazing. We can see the massive growth that they ended up getting, but I think you should be a little bit more hesitant than a lot of people realize when it comes to these, just because the opportunities are there, but they're not as easily accessible as you may think. Please give me video ideas. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day.